And I guess with that, you've had a very, very challenging year. You'd say life-changing in lots of ways, and there's some changes coming up. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So I have been struggling with this not running thing. It has been messing with my head a little bit, but also keeping it in context, far out. I'm still walking around and breathing. So, I've got to keep it in context. But it's been challenging. And, work has been challenging as well. I changed jobs. I left my job at the end of last year and I've been freelancing. So there's been a few stresses around that. And so, what was it, around July? We had the convo, wasn't it? Or even before that, because it was before Woo 2K. Matt and I sat down and had a chat.
No, it wasn't. It was after Woo 2K.
Was it? Okay. All right. Time flies. And I had a chat with Matt about the future of Dirt Church Radio and sort of expressed that I was going to step away. And we sort of came up with a plan to transition around that. The time is approaching. So from the end of October, I'm going to step away from the mic. I will still be Dirt Church Radio's number one fan. Sorry about that. Who's the previous number one fan? Sorry, I'm knocking you off the perch. And yeah, your good self, Matt, you're going to take over full charge.
Yeah, I am. And that's not without its, not to kind of, there's no dirty laundry to air, but obviously you can absolutely understand why someone's doing something. You can absolutely agree with why someone does something. You can support someone 100% why they do something. You don't have to like it though. And it's been a little bit of a challenge for me to get my head around initially. And being very honest, I was like, well, that's us. We're done. Because, there's that part of me. And it was ironically, I think, when we went away with the Fireys climb, that I was just really kind of inspired to keep going because, Dirt Church Radio does have a place, very big place in my life. It has a very big place in lots of people's lives, I think, as well.
That's right. Well, it's been 6 years, and by the time I hang up the mic from my end, it'll be 300 episodes. So it's well and truly embedded itself into the trail running community, certainly of Aotearoa, but actually beyond that, especially when you look at the where our listeners are, Bird Crew in Australia, but also all around the world. And we get messages from all around the world and we can see people listening all around the world. So it's absolutely an intrinsic part of trail running here and abroad. And that's why I'm stoked that you're carrying on. But for me, it's just, it's time. Sometimes don't you, that you've just got to make that call. And and I'm as I said to Matt at one point, I'm heartbroken about this. It's hard for me. This was our baby. But I just had to make some calls around what was good for me. And I won't dress this up, but it's been hard doing a trail running podcast when I couldn't run and talking to people about, wow, that's cool, that's an awesome run. A few episodes back we talked about me getting off Strava because it was just a bit hard for me. And in a way, it's the same with DCR. And I know that, I will be back running at some stage. And as I talked about, I'm doing that return to running program. But right now where I am, I just needed to make that call. So I hope everyone understands. I'm sorry to probably disappoint some people, probably make some people cheer. And,
don't be a dickhead.
I can think of one.
Well, yes, absolutely.
So
speaking of, brand new co-host on Dirt Church Radio.
That's right. It's
going to be the odd couple.
You know who you are. Anyway, so yes, cut a fewer to you, Matt, and as I said, I will be Dirt Church Radio's number one fan. But kind of connected to that is that the live show that we've got coming up that we've been talking about, you and I have just sort of secretly known that will actually be my last show.
Yeah.
And I told Vicky yesterday, she was a bit like, what? So, please get along to that because it will be kind of like, not that this is...
It's a victory lap. I've wanted to send us out on a victory lap for a while. And I'll shuffle out the back here.
Yeah. So October 29, which is a Tuesday after Labour Weekend, 7 o'clock at the Small Gods Tap Room in Mount Eden. We're doing a live show. We've loved doing the live shows, and that's been one of my favourite bits is doing live shows over the years. I remember when we did our first one, and I was absolutely, crapping myself and thinking no one is going to turn up, and then being blown away by it. And it was fun, and it's been fun ever since. So, yeah, this is going to be my last one anyway, our last one together. And we're going to be joined by Inia Raumate, who is 6 races deep into his attempt to run 8 self-supported multi-day races, so on 8 continents this year. Of course, all funds go to Kia Mau, Kia ora. There's going to be a bunch of spot prizes, and if you can't get along in person, there's a special access YouTube link brought to you by Runners with Beards. So come along. And,
come party with us. It's going to be a lot of fun, and that's the thing. I am very much, I'm the same. I'm very much looking forward to hanging out with you, Eugene, and celebrating this and actually having a damn good time because they're super fun.
Yeah.
And on that, we will talk about what's going to happen for Dirt Church Radio. There are going to be some changes, and lots of things are going to stay the same. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to go into that right now because, we're still kind of working through the backroom stuff, but I am, like you said, I personally am crapping myself a little bit just with the very reasonable sort of anxiety around it. But also, very, very excited to take this forward and continue to highlight the sport and this community and these people that we know and that we love and that, we sort of serve. So, yeah.